So there you have my attempts to Libre. Welcome to the Christian Student Center. Tonight, we're going to do a devotional to Dios. But before that, we will have a quick announcements. So let's begin. Alejandro, you begin, my brother.
I don't have the accent. Girls retreat is this weekend. So for all the girls that are going, be excited. It's gonna be awesome. Be prepared to wear a nightgown, bond with your fellow sisters in Christ, and party like it's 1999. So that's happening. Meeting on Thursday night during small groups to talk about who's driving, what to bring, all that fun stuff. So yeah, get excited.
There's going to be a Halloween party, or as they say in my country, Dia de los Muertos. We're going to have a masquerade. Come ready to have some fun and also get spoopy. I'm not sure the spoopy. Am I saying this right?
It's spoopy.
The spoopy. Okay. Thank you. And we're winter retreat. It's getting cold. And I like my home country. If you want to escape the winter bitterness, you should come on this retreat. They're going to the beach. It's going to be Panama City Beach. The cost is only $60. That is 3 years' wage in my country. The dates are going to be January 15th to the 18th. Sign-up sheet looks empty, so yeah, fill the sign-up sheet up. Also, views are going to be as great as these. I think they're examples.
It looks just like that.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of trees.
There's going to be a giveaway. The giveaway things, mark your calendars. It's going to be on November the 7th. We still need lots of donations, but most importantly, volunteers. Also, see any of the student directors if you would like to be part of this awesome event. T-shirts for a cause. Aaron's friend Rachel Whitley is planning on going on a mission trip to Israel. She is selling these T-shirts for $20 to help pay for her trip. If you would like to purchase one, please see Aaron. Let's start talking. There will be an LST meeting tomorrow before church at 5 o'clock. All are welcome to attend. Pumpkin carving, again for the Dia de los Muertos. We will be getting into the true spirit of Halloween, and we will carve pumpkins together. I think that is going to be next Tuesday after Devo. Also, BPL, or Bring Your Own Pumpkin. I said that wrong. I don't know what the acronym is. But you need to bring your own pumpkin.
What is BPL?
Well, I got to the B and the P, and I forget the rest of it. I don't know where the L came from.
Bring pumpkin later.
Bring pumpkin later. Yeah, bring pumpkin later. Specifically, next Tuesday. That is a later date. You need to bring the pumpkins. Okay. Next slide, please. Oh, thank goodness it's in. Yes.
All right, guys. Before we start our singing, let's go ahead and go to God in prayer. Dear Lord, thank you for blessing us with this amazing day. The awesome break that we've had, just a chance to get away from homework, get away from all of our projects, Lord. We just thank you for that chance. We thank you for tonight, all the people who are here. Just an awesome opportunity to learn more about the Dominican Republic, Lord, and the opportunities that you've given us to go be missionaries there, Lord, to go and spread your word, to go and help the community, to help build your church, Lord. We just thank you so much. And we ask that you be with us as we go into this time of praise. Just help to focus our minds, steady our hearts, Lord. Just help us to truly pay attention. Not just sing because it sounds good, Lord, but truly pay attention to what we're saying and take it to heart, Lord. We love you. In your son's name we pray. Amen.
You need more from that to sing?
Yeah.
Alright. I can't even remember. I forgot to. Alright. Lord, I lift your name on high. Lord, I love sing your praises. I'm so glad you're in my life. I'm so glad you came to save us. You came from heaven to earth to show the way from the earth to the cross. My debt to pay, from the cross to the grave, and from the grave to the sky. Lord, I lift your name on high. Lord, I lift your name on high. Lord, I love to sing your praises. I'm so glad you're in my life. I'm so glad you came to save us. You came from heaven to earth to show the way from the earth to the cross. My debt to pay, from the cross to the grave, and from the grave to the sky. Lord, I lift your name on high. We are one in the Spirit, we are one in the Lord. We are one in the Spirit, we are one in the Lord. And we pray that our unity may one day be restored. And they'll know we are Christians by our love. By our love, yes, they'll know we are Christians by our love. We will work with each other, we will work side by side. We will work with each other, we will work side by side. And we'll guard each man's dignity and save each man's pride. And they'll know we are Christians by our love. By our love, yes, they'll know we are Christians by our love. We will work with each other, we will work side by side. We will work with each other, we will work side by side. And we'll guard each man's dignity and save each man's pride. And they'll know we are Christians by our love. By our love, yes, they'll know we are Christians by our love. My Jesus, my Savior, Lord, there is none like you. All of my days I want to praise the wonders of your mighty love. My comfort, my shelter, tower of refuge and strength. Let every breath, all that I am, never cease to worship you. Shout to the Lord, all the earth, let us sing. Power and majesty, praise to the King. Mountains bow down and the seas will roar at the sound of your name. I sing for joy at the work of your hands. Forever I'll love you, forever I'll stand. Nothing compares to the promise I have in you. Open Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. To see you high and lifted up, shining in the light of your glory. Pour out your power and love as we sing, holy, holy, holy. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. Holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. I want to see you. I want to see you. Father God, just for today, help me walk your narrow way. Help me stand when I might fall. Give me your strength to hear your call. May my steps be worship, may my thoughts be praise, may my words bring honor to your name. May my steps be worship, may my thoughts be praise, may my words bring honor to your name. Here I am, just for today. Live in me, have your way, for my desire. When this race is run, is to hear you say, well done. May my steps be worship, may my thoughts be praise, may my words bring honor to your name. May my steps be worship, may my thoughts be praise, may my words bring honor to your name. O Lord my God, when I in awesome wonder consider all the worlds thy hands have made, I see the stars, I hear the rolling thunder, thy power throughout the my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art! How great thou art! And when I think that God His Son not sparing sent Him to die, I scarce can take it in, that on the cross my burden gladly bearing, He bled and died to take away my sin. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art! How great thou art! Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art! How great thou art! When Christ shall come with shout of acclamation and take me home, what joy shall fill my heart? Then I shall bow in humble adoration and there proclaim, my God, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art! How great thou art! Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art! How great thou art!
They have Bible Craig? They gonna want a Bible?
Okay, so tonight we're going to do some slides. You're going to see pictures of the Dominican Republic from last year's spring break trip. This is DR night. How many? Raise your hand if you went last year. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Raise your hand. 7, 8. So like 50% of, we had 12, 13, how many did we go, Karen? 12?
I think we have 12 plus 11. It looks like 12 plus you.
And Betsy,
Yeah, we have 14.
14 total. Okay. Okay, so for those of you that may not be aware, we are going back to the DR. We're going to be going in March for during the spring break week. And out of all the places that I've been, both before the Student Center and during the Student Center, the trips that we've taken, the DR is one that kind of sticks out in my mind because of the groundwork that they've laid and the principles by which they operate their mission. So I'm going to go through basically what their whole philosophy is on how they outreach the community in the town of Santiago, as well as Bovita, which is where they have the children's school. And Brendan's going to talk about that. All right, go on to just flip all the way through. Okay. So as you guys can see, the very foundational principle that they have is building relationships. And I like that because a lot of times we overlook evangelism, the relationship part of that. We skip right on ahead to let me teach you about the Bible. And if you've ever sat through one of my evangelism classes, you're going to know that for me, personally speaking, I think that it's vitally important that you build a relationship with people before you teach them about Christ. Why would I say that? What's the point in having a relationship with somebody? What's the benefit of having a relationship with somebody? Yeah. You'd much rather hear somebody tell you something if you trust them and you're friends with them and you have a relationship with them. So I think that that's a really neat concept that they have in place there. And so these are some of the things that go along with that. This purposeful outreach, they spend time, they share, they build trust, they do service things. And once this stuff has been achieved, they go to this next step, seeking God. And that's where they introduce knowledge of God's characteristics, who Jesus is, and the condition of humanity, which is we're all lost. We're basically hopeless without Christ. After that, the next step is hopefully to talk about this belief in God and deity and Christ as his son. So accepting Jesus for who he says he is, knowing that we're in a sinful world and we are by nature sinful creatures, that we have access to God through the gospel and hopefully having a response to that gospel. The next step is following God, and that's where the disciple is equipped to grow. These are like the fruits of the Spirit we find in Ephesians. Family life, church. What I would say, where we fit into this whole process is this one right here. We're right in this stage. And that's pretty high level stuff. And one of the things that I do here as a campus minister is to try to get us into that next step. And that's what Manna is doing. That's what they're doing in the DR. That's what Brenna is doing. She's got a few people that she disciples to. And hopefully what happens in that process is that you disciple to a person, you live what Christ is to them. You model Christ to them. And hopefully what happens is that they go through all these processes and then they turn around, the person that you've discipled, and they become the teacher. They become the instructor. And they disciple other people. And if you think about this, as far as the gospel, that's what Jesus did. He had a few people that surrounded him. 12 to be exact. And as Brenda was saying earlier, really, out of that 12, he really had a much smaller core group of like 3. So as we think about this, as far as our own evangelistic efforts, our own growth, our own spiritual maturity, we need to think about the concept, the way that Jesus did it, and ask ourselves the question, why are we not doing the same thing? So for me personally, going and seeing this put into practice in the mission field, and I've been to a lot of them, was really refreshing. And the thing that I liked about it most is, you always get something. Whenever you go into a foreign country, you always get probably more than what you're giving. Don and Norm, these are some of the leaders there that work with Manna School. They made it a point every single night to come in and give back to us. And so after a full day's work, we would sit down, we would sing songs, and then Don or Norm or one of the other missionaries there would kind of unpack all of the stuff that we had been trying to process and teach us about what this stuff was all about, which was really refreshing. All right, next slide. All right, so we're going to run through these slides pretty quickly. March 9th through the 15th is when we went, and we left out Sunday, the night before our flight, which was Monday morning. Because it left early, we stayed at Forest Park Church of Christ, which was an experience. And next slide. This is what happens when you forget to bring your supplies and the stuff you're supposed to take with you. You spend the night at church, a strange church, getting all the supplies redone again. So we cut out, I don't know, 200 something sandals again and park.
Oh, I'm actually playing Connect Four. I'm not actually doing anything.
You also
Bart-
didn't go on the trip.
Bart, let me just, like, if I didn't say it then, I need to give a shout out to Bart because he didn't have to go, but he drove all the way to Atlanta. He took all our luggage. He stayed up all night. He got us to the airport, and then he drove all the way back. So,
Just wanted to play Connect Four.
He also went to that Bible salute at Walmart.
all right, next slide.
He almost drove 2 hours with Taco Bell in his truck to bring it to us. But then
Do we need to turn that light out?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so this is on the way over there. Just some happy flight pictures.
It's the old Abby picture.
Is that New York?
No, that's
That's New York. That's ice. Try to tell us it's
no, it's not. That's Iceland. Wait, go back one. Go back one.
That's
That's New York.
It's beautiful. It was Iceland.
All right.
It could be like the.
So I'll tell y'all straight up. I mean, if you're thinking about going there again, or if you've never been, it's a long day of travel. There's no easy way to get there. And so we went from Atlanta to New York. So we went all the way up, and then we come all the way back down from JFK to Santiago. And Santiago is about 3 hours away from where we need to be. And so it's over the mountain. It's about a 2.5 to 3 hour bus ride. So after traveling all day, that bus ride is brutal. So we get on the bus, go to Santiago, over the mountains to Rio San Juan, and that's where the Mana Christian Center is, which is that building right there. If I was going to explain this, it's a lot like the Student Center. It's an outreach in the city, and they're reaching out to a little bit older age group. They have what's called Club Chiquita, which while we were there was on the bottom floor, and we moved it up to the top floor. And we all stayed up here on the top floor. There's some rooms and some kitchen facilities, but it's a neat place. All right, next slide. So Tuesday was really when the work began. We started out with like an orientation, and the director, he gets up there, and basically that first slide that I just showed you, he makes sure that we all understood the process of what they're doing there, and he makes sure that one of the things that he talks quite a bit about is the culture of the Dominican Republic. They're very relational people. You know, we are very unrelational in a lot of ways. We watch our time. Oh, sorry, I got a meeting. And they don't care about that stuff. If they're standing at a stoplight or on a corner and they get in a conversation, they don't care if they've got to be at work in 5 minutes. They're going to sit there and they're going to talk to you. So it's a neat thing to see. Then we did lunch at the lagoon. We did a scavenger hunt. The purpose of this scavenger hunt was to try to acclimate us and get us comfortable with the surrounding area. So literally we had to go find stuff within the town of Rio San Juan. And really neat thing is we split up, and the smaller groups ate with some of the families in their home. And these families were so incredible. They were so awesome. It was kind of weird because they watched you eat. They just like waited on you hand and foot, made sure that you got everything that you wanted before they even put a piece of food in their mouth. And then each night we closed out, like I said, with a devotional. All right, next slide. That's the lagoon area where we ate lunch.
Shout out to Sarah for providing
Yes.
all the photos.
Yes.
Aw, CDC Sarah was on there.
Just down from the lagoon, it's like a 3-minute walk, is the beach.
Aw.
Sarah took that picture too.
Oh,
Yeah, one of the things in the scavenger hunt, they have you go find all these murals and stuff. These murals are all over the walls, and it's some really good art.
Craig's beard. I forgot Craig's beard went on the trip.
Yes, I packed it. It's pretty good.
Can you get it clipped? He needs a haircut.
I did. Yeah, that was part of the scavenger hunt. Oh, this is one of the family's homes, the dinner that we had there.
What you don't know is Chesney has Yum Yum song.
She's yeah. So in the middle of dinner, she like leans over. She's like, "Is it okay if I get my Yum Yum sauce out. And Betsy was like, no, you can't get your yum yum sauce out. All right, so Wednesday was our work day. We did a VBS at Club Chiquito. Okay, say it.
Chiquito.
I go ahead. One of the things that they wanted done, this was the entrance into the Manna Christian Center. Thank you. There were, you can't see it, but like over here was a big, huge pile of rocks. So we formed with Harding was there at the same time. We formed this big line out the side, all the way around, and we did this. What's it called when you pass assembly line? Pass rocks down.
Me and Lily works extra hard on the assembly line.
No,
So one of the issues they've got with this entrance is they get a lot of rain and it gets muddy and nasty and it's hard to walk on. Okay, go ahead.
There she is.
Delicious, right? Hey, let me just.
Is that Ryan doing?
No, this is a Harding guy. I just wanted to point him out, the before and after.
Oh.
Because that cement goes everywhere. But let me tell you something about Alicia. Just a second. Those bags, have y'all ever picked up a concrete bag? Okay, these are like 70-pound concrete bags. And I'm looking, there's, like big, brawny guys. They've got one bag, they're like doing this number. So I look, and Alicia, she's like, So I did not mess with Alicia at all. All right, so that's kind of what it was like after we got the cement all down. I don't know what Lily's doing there.
I look so cute.
Scratching my chin.
Betsy, good.
We did a lot of painting.
Why is who filtered that? I'm not that dirty.
That's the downstairs area.
Oh.
Oh yeah, Sarah got her hand caught. That's the downstairs area where they did. That's basically we moved their club chick.
We moved the teenage club upstairs.
Yes, that's not that. What's that called?
Agua Viva.
Aqua Viva.
Agua.
Agua Viva is the girls' class.
It's like something with a number in it.
Now they just have stuff upstairs and downstairs. So they just do it close.
It's a Christian center.
It's a really neat thing. They got like a little coffee shop type thing going for the teenagers there. So it's pretty cool.
Chilling.
All right, so one of the things we did is a skit. John the Baptist. That's me with the beard. I do grow facial hair.
I don't know if I can make this play or not.
Oh. What is it?
It's a locust grasshopper.
Were they cooked, Craig? Was that
Yeah.
was that a sauteed one?
No, it's just fresh raw. Yeah. And just to show the girls, they actually represented.
Oh, she ate it, yeah.
No, that's not the
That
bad.
was pretty good.
You can survive off it. It's protein.
It actually doesn't have flavor.
Yeah, so just for your information, if you're ever like in the wilderness, locust or grasshopper, 76% protein. As compared to the same amount of beef, less than 30%.
But they're also this teeny, so you like a bunch of them.
Not really, because it's so much protein. You can eat like a handful and you're good for the day. Eat your like daily ration of protein. The reason we were doing that is because their skit was about John the Baptist and he ate locusts, right? And wild honey. So part of the VBS, these are some of the kids there.
Casey.
Every time. Every single
Is
time.
this a video?
Yeah.
Nice to see you.
Right. Stop. I've given up.
What were they doing?
How you say it?
Tequila?
All right. So Thursday, we got to go see where Brenna works. It's the children's home, man school. So go to the next slide. Let's see what we got going on.
Just let it go. Let it do it.
Wait, what?
Nothing.
No, go back one.
No,
No, go back.
No, it's fine. No, no, you're laughing good.
Huh? What was it?
I don't know. Nothing.
Viva Aqua! Aqua! Viva Aqua!
Aqua. Hey, this is
Brenna, why don't you talk? Get up here and talk about the children's school and what you do.
What did you do? This picture happening?
Yeah, you can. The next few are just the ride up to Bovita, which is about how far from Rio San Juan?
About like 30 minutes.
It's a beautiful ride.
Right.
There.
So Nana, well, for those of you who don't know, I'm Brenna.
Hi,
I was in Georgia here last year and the year before, and now I live in the Dominican Republic. And so this is where I live, like this road. And so that's me in that picture. If you can sort of think like you have Signal Mountain and you have Chattanooga, right? And so that's sort of like Rio San Juan and Bovita. So you have to like drive up the mountain to get up there. But then it's not like America, so the road is really, really crappy. So you drive up into the mountains and you get to Bovita, and that's where we have, this is our children's home, and then we also have a school. It's a high school, and so I teach at the high school, and I teach like math and chemistry and biology and English, and I teach all of these things in Spanish. And so we have these kids, and we only have 38 kids in our school. And so that little building in the corner is the school. And so it's just like 4 classrooms because we only have 40 kids and there's 4 grades and that's all you do. So we have these 40 kids come, and these kids come in knowing that we are not a Dominican school. So your education is going to be a little bit different because we're Americans, but also they're a part of our discipleship program. So these kids come in knowing that the hope is that all of them, but that doesn't really work out. So the hope is that a majority of them will be paired with a missionary who is their disciple. And so we each have a certain number of kids that we just like walk beside. Like I have some people that I live life with, and I live it really closely, and I walk beside them, and I encourage them, and I share my faith with them. So pretty much it's the idea like what Jesus called us to do. And we just put this label on it, and we call it discipleship, and we bring them to school. This is what we do. And so we just love on them all day, and a select few, we give them a little bit of extra love, and we walk beside them and things like that. And I love these pictures because I love getting to see these kids that I now know and that I get to love on every day. And sometimes they're goons and make you crazy, but I love them too. And so one thing about the Dominican, well, I'll say it about Bovita because I really just live in Bovita. These people are poor, right? So they live in these like shack things, and they wear clothes that were donated to Manna, and Manna gave them for free and things like that. But the biggest thing is that they're just really, they live in like spiritual poverty. You know, it's hard, I guess it's sort of hard to explain. Like, I think Satan works differently in America and here. So here we can just like, we're in a really easy place to be, and Satan can use that, and we can be lazy, and that's okay. You know, and Satan doesn't have to attack us here as much. But there, it's a lot different. And so some days I think like the darkness and the heaviness, you can feel it a lot different than you can here. And so we just live there, and we just love on them and just give them some light. And so some days that's super easy, and some days it's a lot harder. And then we have a school where we can drop them in for however many hours a day and just love on them, you know. So I don't know if there's more pictures. Yeah. So these, oh my gosh, I just love them. I missed them. Okay, so one other thing that I will tell you is that I would love if all of you could come to the Dominican and see this. Like, I would love to share it with all of you. And so if you do come aware that, like, in a week, you're not going to drastically change the Dominicans' lives. Like, I really hope that you come and you love on them, and they're going to soak up that love, and they're going to take it, and it's going to be awesome. They don't come thinking that in 6 days you're going to change their lives, because that's just not what's going to happen. But come praying that your heart will be changed, that you can come and you can get a glimpse of what it looks like to do discipleship and be really intentional about it, and just learn what that means. And I'm talking like I know what it means, but I still learn every day what that means and what our program looks like and things like that. So come just like, if you want to learn how to be a disciple day by day. So that's what we're doing right now. You got any more pictures?
All right, so Friday, this was what this was our last day, and we did a lot of work, but there's also a lot of like fun stuff that we did as well. That it's kind of hard to communicate that. Go to the next slide. So this is Don and Tom, or Norm and Tom, Norm and Don. One of the things that they like to do with groups is drive up to Prayer Mountain. The view is amazing. You get to overlook the whole city, and everybody just kind of goes off to their own, and we're up there for 30 minutes or so, and just have like quiet time to yourself to reflect about your week and to sort of pray. And I was thinking, this is like kind of, I don't know, what's the word, forced, I guess. And so I kind of had a negative attitude, but you get up there and it's like God and nature do its work on it. And like immediately all of this negativity I had just melted away. And I was really able to like focus in on the week that we had. And really what Brennan was saying is like, you can't go up there and change anybody in 6 days. We were mission 2, if that makes sense. More so than any place I've ever been. I mean, they really, really wanted us. They view us coming in as mission work for them, so we take what we learn back to our campus. We're basically there to learn and to soak up. So, a lot of places you go and you're like, yes, I'm going to dig a well for these very poor people, and they're going to be happy. Oh, yes, I'm going to go read the Bible, and they're going to be learning so much. And at the DR, it's them saying, let us serve you. Let us teach you. Soak this in. And so this was an amazing kind of like exclamation point on the trip to see what they were doing in the town, both the Christian school as well as the town of Santiago. All right, next slide. Go ahead. So after it was over with, we all got together and we had one group prayer after everybody had their individual prayers. It was pretty neat. And then they took us to this beach that was, it was unlike any beach I've ever seen. Literally, I mean, these pictures don't even begin to do it justice. It just was like a postcard. So, yeah, Melvina.
It's kind of for Breno, or you can call it interest. So there's the school, and then y'all have kids that live there, like an orphanage.
Right. So we have like 4 different programs. So we have our high school, and then we have a children's home, which is like an orphanage, but we don't do adoptions out of it. So pretty much the kids come to stay with us until they're 18. And then we have the Club Chiquito in Rio San Juan, and then we have college students in Santiago.
So how many kids are at the orphanage?
We have 20 kids, and we just keep them Mostly, we're trying to get the kids back with their families, but most of the time that's not going to happen. And their families just aren't going to do their work, so they're going to stay with us until they're old enough to go to St. John.
And the children's home, there's a house for boys and a house for girls. And then they have a full-time husband and wife team that run the children's home. And then they have a full-time counselor on staff. And they have an assistant. And then just down from the children's home is where Brenna stays. They've got some homes there for the missionaries as well as the school. It's a very well-run organization. They're doing a lot of really great work. Okay, so you turn that light back on. That's it, isn't it? Okay, so one of the things that we've got one more week. Next week is a guy going to be talking about some. I didn't say it much last week, and I won't say it again next week. But for you guys that are here tonight, I know that this seems like a long one for some of you, just because it's mission. But you guys, I don't know if you've ever stopped to think about how many full-time missionaries over the years have come out of the student center. And I plug it hard because missions is near and dear to my heart. My mom and dad, I grew up in Africa. You guys know this. There's just something special about being able to take somebody that has never thought about stepping foot out of their comfort zone, and they leave the student center and they have a passion to go into the foreign mission. Not to say that that can't happen here, because it can and should. But it's a great thing to watch students like Brenna come through and they decide they want to go dedicate 2 years of their life. We've got Nick in China. We've got the LST program, you guys going over there for 6 weeks. I mean, that's a huge chunk of time. Melvina, she's been literally all over the world. And I know if she could snap her fingers right now, she would be in Africa working at an orphanage. To have students come through this place and just have that burning desire to do that is, to me, it's an awesome thing. It shows the power of God working in our lives. The DR was not even supposed to happen. I talk about God's providence. This idiot right here, totally messed up the dates. We were going to go back to Panama in Central America. I totally gave him the wrong dates and was scrambling at the last minute to try to find a place for our spring break mission trip. And the DR just fell out of the sky. And then from that, Bernie got hooked up with the right people, and now she's running life. And she speaks Spanish, which is totally cool.
And I will say, totally come for a week and hang out and check out what we're doing. But also pray, if you think, God will use you wherever. God will use you in America, or God can use you in the Dominican. And if there's one thing that we say when people ask us, what do we need? We need prayers and we need financial support, but we need manpower. And we need strong men and women who love the Lord and want to come love on some people. And so just figure out where God's calling you to, because everywhere could just use a little bit more manpower and just a little bit more love.
Circle up.
I'm gonna be right here. Be careful here. You do it every day.
I'm about to die. Right outside.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Let's go with I decided to follow Jesus, and it's I have decided, and then we do that 3 times. No turning back. We'll repeat it twice, and then the none good with me, and then after that, the cross before me, the world behind me, and then you go, I have decided. You get it, you get it. I have decided to follow Jesus. I have decided to follow Jesus. I have decided to follow Jesus. No turning back, no turning back. Though none go with me, I still will follow. Though none go with me, I still will follow. Though none go with me, I still will follow. No turning back, no turning back. The cross before me, the world behind me. The cross before me, the world behind me. The cross before me, the world behind me. No turning back, no turning back. I have decided to follow Jesus. I have decided to follow Jesus. I have decided to follow Jesus. No turning back, no turning back.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for our many blessings that we have here. Thank you for the food that we got to eat. Thank you for this time that we got to spend together and learning more about the work of the Dominican Republic. Dear Heavenly Father, please be with us as we go out from this place. Help us to be the lights of the world on this campus. And dear Heavenly Father, please be with all those who are in the foreign mission field as well. And just help us to make a difference around the world. We're very blessed here, and please help us to use those blessings for your kingdom. Thank you for everything that you've given us and everything you've blessed us with. Thank you most of all for your Son. Please forgive us when we fall short. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
How are you?
I made it from finger to here in 3 hours and 41 minutes.
There you go. You're from Finger, Tennessee?
Yeah.
I literally.